Kickoff weekend in Copenhagen. GENG, Mobile One Racing, building on the momentum of beating the reigning defending world champs. They got silenced in front of them now. Can they make it through? Do Silence get the upset? Let's find out on the pitch.
Some familiar faces and maybe some strangers. If you're usually watching on the weekends in RLCS, 3 names that you may not have heard up against 3 names I know you definitely have heard. GENG trying to get another win and move on to Copenhagen here, but there's a new roster on the block in Silence. Resinal, Pigeon, and Lev take the pitch here on Saturday. Their first time in RLCS Saturday ever.
For starters, a big congratulations to them, but also many congratulations to GENG Mobile One. Like we've all said a million times, this is the team that took NRG out. So they have a huge target on their back to be taken down. And of course, Silence, I don't expect to have come into this unprepared. Of course, even this first 30 seconds of holding up right now is a pretty decent sign for them, if I say so myself.
Well, Pigeon and Lev, they played together last season. I think this roster is quite interesting. You have Lev, who is from Saudi Arabia, currently living in Canada. You've got Pigeon living in Canada as well, excuse me, I'm not trying to get it mixed up. And then you have Resinal living in America, but also has Peru as his nationality. I don't believe I mixed that up. I'll have to look at that again. Pigeon gets the save. But all 3 of these players, the highest placement you'll see out of any of them is 17th to 22nd. They get a nice move here, and Resinal will get the first goal. It's Silence putting the first goal up and have the lead on GENG.
Can we talk about this play? Lev throwing it down and just getting the second bounce for Resinal to throw it in. They got a tiny catch-off guard moment on GENG there. And like I said, you cannot count this team out. They're going to be coming into this as well with like 0 respect to GENG because everybody is counting them out. They are the true underdog in this situation here. So I expect full confidence. That's what they've been showing so far. First to score in the series.
And correction to be made, Pigeon is American Peruvian. He has Peru as his second nationality listed out. Justin should have a free goal here, and GENG wastes no time getting back on the board. So you have an eclectic makeup here of players that have never been this high up in the standings before. And of course, GENG been there, done that. They'll find the opening. Justin, of course, will get the game-tying goal.
Yeah, this really special roster, a special rendition of this GENG roster right now. Magic Bear, the only one left from the original trio that used to be all the way back to RMC. He's now going on his own to Foot Esports. But the special thing are the coaches are the ones that have stayed. So seeing Justin and Rise now alongside Magic Bear, I'm so stoked to see what Kevin Gregg have cooked up for this team so far. What they've brought out has worked. They've taken down NRG. They're just looking to take down another one to go to Copenhagen, try to get the drop down over to Magic Bear, instead transition out as Justin slows down the play in its tracks.
Lev will send that across. His highest placement before today, by the way, was 33rd to 40th. He's definitely punching a step or 2 above his weight class. Light pop here, Magic Bear couldn't quite get it on target. He had to go above Lev on the play. And it skips across. Justin tried to leave it for Rise, the new addition to this roster. Rise, who we saw slotting it, his icy play, coming over to North America. Rise trying to collect the infinity gauntlet of regions played in. And he adds North America to his list. As Lev sets this across, this is not a bad look for Silence. They send 2 and they don't get it. They run into each other. Lev had the bump, and communication is their worst enemy. That could have been a goal, and they get destroyed on the turnaround. Rise will take the lead for GENG.
2 double commits is what turned this into a goal for GENG. It was a double commit on the offensive front, but also on the back end, and Rise just ran away with it. GENG regain their lead here. 2 minutes to go in game number 1 off the kickoff. A demo onto the man that just put them back into the lead. Justin to himself in the corner there. Magic Bear, can he get a center over to Rise? You see him lurking on the end. Right now, GENG's goal, just play the patient game. You know you're stronger. This one down to Justin. And of course it's in.
And you do see the panic for Silence. They don't get a 50 here, so Lev is forced to commit on Rise. And he's just trying to follow where Rise is going with that ball. It's not the greatest position. It really was that first 50 that caused the wheels to fall off the wagon there. And Silenced, you start out strong with that first goal. You leave the net open for GENG to tie it up. And then you get in your own way, which would have been a game-leading goal. Remember the double commit on an empty net after Lev had got the bump. So there's some things to like right now early on with Silence. There's definitely some errors that you would expect, you know, this being the biggest audience these three players have played in front of yet in their RLCS careers. As this popped up high, and GENG, they're gonna be a tough team to crack for sure. Justin gets across, it's a good save from Pigeon. Rebound denied as well from Lev. Recovers with the boost and wants to turn around. He's got Pigeon the whole way downfield. Wants to find his man. Magic Bear, the second defenseman, finds a way to grab it.
Right now, Silenced, spacing themselves out a little bit more has been the key to being able to, you know, keep up with GENG at the moment. A few times they get a little bit too close together, or unfortunately double commit on things. That's when it all gets away from themselves. But right now they're holding their own team, Finch. Unfortunately, it's wide in the wrong direction, but my goodness, if you keep following this, they are going full send right now.
That was a crazy read from Lev earlier.
What a save.
That double commit works. Pigeon bumps into Resinal, which gets him to clear out, but a demo means he's left stuck with no boost. He'll use the wall to help him out. And yeah, game one got away from Silence. Good demo, but it's over the whole team's head, and, well, would have been 4-1. Defense a little lax there in the awareness. Still, some things to build on here in game number one. But GENG, this is one of those games where you gotta play rock solid. You don't need to take too many risks. You play what's in front of you. It's against a team that you should win. But Silence, there's a couple of scary things that they showed in that game number one. So GENG definitely can't be caught sleeping here against this team, but they take care of business in game one.
Being pretty harsh on Silence at the beginning, like joining on like the bandwagon of like, there's no chance, no. That was definitely a very valiant effort in that game one, and low-key confident. So I'm excited to see what they learned from game number one and take into this one right here. And of course, off the rip, having to defend against that GENG pressure. Hopefully, you know, the biggest key for Silence to take into this game number two is space yourselves out and trust yourselves.
Some of Lev's reads are
They're
kind
nasty.
of insane. I mean, he was up so early to block that, but and there was like 2 more touches that happened. I mean, it's a risky way to play, but it is cleared downfield. You get the touch, you get the touch. Justin, 50 out to Rise. Rise fake to Magic Bear, and it's off the bar. I think he might have been able to sneak it in. Had it been at the very top on target, it would have been close either way. It wasn't. Magic Bear's gonna have to try again. Lev, pre-jump in the touch. No chance for Rise. You saw Pigeon sitting underneath, but Justin had the read earlier and cleared out again here from Silence.
Look at Justin opening up that net for them. Pigeon did a very quick cut.
Wow.
Stop Magic Bear in his tracks, excuse me, and now Resinal's going to transition him out to the other end. It's no boost, a rare, almost miss, but a low-powered clear out. GENG fairly low on boost. It's pretty low on boost all the way around, to be honest, so it's forcing a slower game out of both teams.
Rise tried for the demo. Pigeon was at a couple of solid touches on the last few sequences. Look at that one he had on defense a little earlier that helped get Silenced out of a jam. Another demo. Rise takes Pigeon out of the play. Another bump, and that opens the gap for Justin, excuse me. Nice play here, and just too much physicality to deal with. Great scoop from Magic Bear.
Oh man, at the end of it all, anytime you see a duo combo from GENG, just know it's gonna come in with a lot of power. In Silence, you're gonna have to really manage your boost here because GENG's not gonna give you a lot of it. At some point, they are gonna start to try and starve you. Great pass to the bar. Justin already up to it. See what he can do to work with here. Has his flip over one and pretty much got to play that one slow there. A little too close on the back end, but for now, Silence stays strong.
Pigeon sitting underneath this. Oh, there's no one around for that touch. Free for Magic Bear. A bit of a miscomm. Rise and Justin had rotated together. Now Rise gets bumped out of the play. Silence thinking they can finally bring that ball down. They're just not giving any space. Justin is denied, but Magic Bear is there to make sure he puts it in the basket.
I was right there with you. I thought, oh my goodness, it's actually going to happen here. There wasn't enough time to nosedive back down. Magic Bear just up enough to make sure that that one did end up finding its way on in. Half of this game number 2, I would say a lot more, you know, back and forth in game number 1 for sure. But GENG still got it in their hand.
I think the main difference, you know, Silence, they're not making as many blatant errors, as many unforced errors, but now they're just getting picked apart on the 50s. First, it was the physicality for GENG to open it up. You had a demo and then the Magic Bear pass into a bump, and now Magic Bear gets a perfect 50. You see Pigeon as he's coming across, has to have his nose behind that ball if he's trying to force it out to the left. So hard to do when you're having to track, and Magic Bear has his nose behind the center of the ball, and he's got momentum beat against you. It's hard to win a 50-50 in front of your own box there, and it comes down to, did you win the previous 50? They didn't. While I don't think game 1 was GENG just far and away outplaying Silenced, it was Silence making errors. This time, it's GENG just all over Silenced, and they don't have an answer for it right now.
Yeah, they're definitely like, I mean, they have a potential solution to these issues, and right now my eye just continues to follow Resinald. He has been so important to a lot of these plays that Silent is putting out. He's trying to like push them forward, and GENG is recognizing it and they're demoing him off, but he's everywhere. That save, right? And then watch him make a quick cut and throw himself back up again. I think he could be the answer to this team if they could just kind of get it together a little bit. But right now, it's still GENG, and by GENG, I mean you got world champion, a literal legend, and the one that deserves it all.
I mean, it was going to be a tough match no matter what. But I do... Okay. That looked strange. I do agree that there are little things to like about some little parts of Silence gameplay. I think Pigeon has had decent touch quality when he actually gets control. I don't think that was the best example of it. He had to use a million boosts just to get control there. And a little dropper, a demo. Lev called off, back to Pigeon, and a good deny, but Justin dunked. Resinald finds the goal, and Silence put together a good progression here.
I love it. Again, it's a risky commit for the whole team to be up that far. Resinald recognized that the initial shot was going to bounce out there, and he just quick turns on no boost, and at least gets them onto the board here. 50 seconds down by 2 off the kickoff. Rise denied following up anything here. Let me see if Justin can do it on his own. Solo play, completely cut off.
Resinald, deep pass over to Lev. Couldn't keep control though. That one, wait, he just gets the pass back to Pigeon. Dump into the corner, you give Rise all the boosts. And you gotta try to force it out again. Lev, pot shot. High, Resinald a full tank, but time getting wasted. And you need to score 2. Resinald's over, Magic Bear. Rise gets a little chip and saved by Justin out of the inside of the net. Off his old teammate. Well, named after his old teammate. As Lev gets that one up high, back to Resinald. And that'll be it for game number 2. GENG take care of business.
I definitely agree with you. They have the pieces. They understand as a unit. They are capable of putting up a very good fight against GENG. Right now, the bigger challenge is once you're in those solo plays, can you hold your own against some of the best players in the entire world?
Can you build on what you had going at the end of game number 2? It's the big question for Silence. You can build confidence knowing you can score on this team when they're playing good defense. How do you keep putting that pressure together? Justin flicks it out. Good patience from Lev as well. Immediately taking the angle. Lev getting a little bit of help there from Magic Bear, although he loses control. You pitch it exactly. You give yourself a little bit of time with the ball. Buy yourself a chance to make a play. He does get a 50 here. Resinald gets a chance, and if he lands, if he doesn't get tripped up trying to recover, he might have a chance to go for that ball on the back wall.
They got to be careful too, though. A couple of the times that you have seen them push up, and this was just another example of it, that third man, once you're past midline, if that GENG clear comes through, which 9 times out of 10 it will, you are in a race against yourself pretty much. Magic Bear down over to Rise, and that's that clear I was talking about. Silenced sometimes is getting a little bit too far ahead of themselves in situations like this, and well, it's exactly what I said. They're just gonna catch you out.
I mean, Lev knows the attacker's there, and he's just so far off the ball, he still decides to go and jump for it. That's when you just have to wait. It's not a great position to be in as third man there, but you're giving yourself no chance on the ball just jumping up there. Look, the Rocket League guys are not going to answer your prayers on that. I don't care how fast you think you are. There's a speed cap in the game, and you're beat on the play. The discipline needs to be there, but it was a tough position anyway. Now Rise looks for 2. Lev keeps it tight, but Magic Bear rips it away, and GENG are rolling now.
This is the second time we've seen Lev do like a goal line save like this, and just unfortunately for him, they're gonna throw themselves at you, and it's obviously going to go on in, but my goodness. So some of these catches that he has done are insane, but 2-0 lead up for GENG. Really great showing from them. Of course, there's the respect coming in, but Pigeon's gonna solo it. No respect on his end.
Now Pigeon takes a little flight, gets a little height. Nice pirouette, and the reset popper. Beautiful play. Pigeon's had a couple of carries that have looked nice. That one he finally got a chance to put on target, and he made mincemeat of GENG's defense.
Almost off the kickoff. Demo opens up space for the follow-up after, though. Nice little save there from Magic Bear, just waiting, lurking around. You see Resinal and Lev on the sidewall. A little bit of an awkward touch here, loses possession back over to GENG unless Lev gets the race, and not quite. But still, only a 1-goal deficit after a goal like that is a great sign.
The only thing, I think if Lev just like chilled his hot meter like 1 notch, then he might find that he's a little faster to some of these plays, but he's just so willing to jump at almost every ball he's near. And I think that's definitely attributed to nerves. As a quick pass out to Rise. Pick their pocket. Silenced had no chance on the play. Beautiful pass from Magic.
No nerves whatsoever here. It's just a clean-cut pass and play. We've seen it a couple times already out of GENG. Silenced. No answers to a lot of these infields so far. As the lead continues to get extended by GENG. Gotta see what Silence can do to respond.
Pigeon couldn't quite shake Rise off the ball. Resinal, good use of the ceiling. Pigeon, no boost. Had to bump Magic Bear off the play. No spawn for Magic either, though. Beautiful catch from Lev. Pigeon jumps quickly. He gets the bump as well, and Lev! That's just unfortunate. It's not his fault. He's trying to get the bump and get out of the way, but he had no chance to do so. They execute, they do everything right, and then the car is your worst enemy. Resinal tries to keep it tight. Lev, another soft touch. Drop down, good slow play. GENG gave you the space, you try to take it. Now speed it up quick. Resinal, does he have a play? Pigeon jumps early. Lev blasts back, Resinal won't cut, he needs time. And Lev gives him plenty of it. Goes for his own touch on the 50, but Pigeon's on the opposite side. Resinal comes back on the 50. Pigeon's ready for it. Again, good forward structure. There's clear IQ when it comes to the awareness for the Silence team, but it breaks down when things start getting fast.
Yep. And not even just fast, but whenever they start getting, put into these little one-on-ones against GENG, that's where I think it's a mix of adrenaline and nerves a little bit, because they definitely could keep up if they wanted to. I mean, we've seen it before. Another shot here, even on no boost. Lev able to place this one out into the corner there. And they're trying to shut this down. That boost grab could have been enough, but he's demoed all the way off, and it's up to Resinal to allow Silence sometime in that other half. But my goodness, GENG, as soon as they recognize, that Silence is starting to go a little bit toe for toe with them, they just turn it up another notch.
Oh, Resinal, good neutral hop to get back down to the ground, excuse me. Pigeon has to hope that bounce came down to him, and honestly, lucky that shot wasn't on target. Resinal has Pigeon underneath him. GENG ready for that option as well. Lev buys time for the rest of Silence to get set here at the end of game number 3. Trying to make something happen at the end. Resinal will try again, giving a little bit of space. Justin lets it drop teammates down into the thirds. And Magic Bear holds the line again. Resinal will try, but those follow-up 50s are not happening. Trading demos, but GENG aren't trading wins. Pigeon will try one last time for a bump. They don't get it. Silence showing the behind right now. Once more, another 3-1 victory, regardless of the result of this play.
Not a bad showing, though. I will say, I think you know, like, offensively right now, Silence is...
And Magic Bear goes, fine, I'm just going to smash the ball against you. Good luck getting a quality touch there. He doesn't, and GENG break out off. It's very little things like that. But there are things to like about this Silence roster. But this one, not so much. Rise will put that one in. A disastrous kickoff here for Silence. Magic Bear keeps it tight. Resinal gets 50'd out. Justin gets all of that one.
It's just a crazy push that you can't not anticipate from GENG right there. They saw the opportunity and took full advantage. Scoring in 5 seconds. I think that's their fastest one yet in this series. So props to you on there. Although you do still want to give some flowers to Silence. This squad by no means is like terrible or whatsoever. It's an experience difference. They have the keys to be able to compete against a team like GENG, in my opinion, as of right now. The difference is they're just too hot and cold at the moment. They aren't as consistent as GENG almost by any means.
They start off with a goal in the dirt. See what Silence can do to try to stay alive in the series. For GENG, this is what you expect from this roster with Rise coming in. These are the types of games that you should be threatening a 4-0, if not just winning a 4-0. Again, this Silence team has never made it this far in RLCS Open. The highest either Pigeon or Resinal have gotten is 17th to 22nd in the Raleigh and Birmingham Opens. Never actually able to make it into the top 16. So it was always going to be a tough first bout, no matter which team they were going to be playing today. As Resinal gets a great pass out. Pigeon tried to change up. You can see the ideas are there again. But GENG find a way to threaten. Lev drop off air pass. Resinal hit it right into Rise, who gets the full clear down the field. Pigeon wanted to keep going, but flipped into the ball. It got away from him, and Lev comes back to make a diving stop. Resinal, that 50's just right back to Rise. Rise puts more pressure, trying to pop, as Lev stays behind the ball, and Silence doing what they can to survive.
Goodness, Lev's defensive positioning is insane. I feel bad because he's very, very low on boost, and you got to be able to trust Resinal to help you out on that one. But the double save still manages to keep GENG at 1 for now. Demo onto Resinal, and there is no stopping Lev. Lev has managed to keep GENG at bay almost single-handedly. He's going to try to do it again here, and he does. He's a true monster on defense.
That's a savior medal for him, too. And I mean, every save has looked savior-esque. Here's one with no boost. That one's a little easier. I mean, you still got to put it into safety. I'm not going to make it completely sound like, oh, yeah, that one was easy. But here's Rise off the ceiling. Takes it himself. Justin jumped early, and it's off the post. Resinal sticking with it. Pigeon, not a ton of boost here. Resinal, a very precarious dance here in the corner. Back to Magic, off the post and in. GENG buys some insurance.
I have full respect to Silence for the amount of defense that they just stuck up against GENG. At some point, Lev was going to have nothing in the tank and be forced to try and throw his hand, but this one just over him. I mean, a great one all the way around, but a 2-goal lead is a pretty big gap for Silence to try and come back to.
See what Silence can do. They got an extra second to think about it. Decent shot there from Lev, but into the defenders. Got the left side of the net to look at, albeit still well covered. Pigeon, no boost, and he kicks that away to the side. Actually gives Resinal a chance at it. Lev a demo as well. Resin will drop off to Lev. Lev might get a good bounce. Rise gets there in time. Resinal wants the pressure. Third man gets deleted. Silence first to turn tail. And actually, ball slips by Magic Bear, and that buys Silence plenty of time. Here's Lev, full tech of boost, fakes it, pigeon, shot, denied, 2 commit for GENG, and they're getting thrown off the box line. Still, Justin keeps the ball safe and forces Silence back to their own half.
One thing I really like about this Silence team is on their way out on rotation, they do try to hit at least one bumper, grab a sneaky demo if possible. But sometimes it leaves that last man a little bit awkward there. Thankfully for Pigeon, there's a lot of self-confidence in these saves. Another pass, this one barred down and out. Magic Bear's gonna try and do it from the sky. Can he hit the double, triple? No, just a bit wide, but my goodness, is GENG ready to find another goal.
Lev was very happy Rise didn't have any ideas, because I don't think Rise knew he was absolutely starved there, but there was a window where a dunk was looking real possible. Rise wanted to maintain contain. That works out here for GENG at the end of regulation here in game 4. Sweep on the table. Silenced. Trying what they can to get another goal on the board. Pigeon. Try once more. Finds it to Resinal. And Justin never thrown off his line. Resinal will throw the ball away from Rise. Lev wants the sidewall. Double! And it's off target. We'll try again. Losing the ball, they'll get the demo, but it's GENG taking care of business. Rise doesn't quite get the dunk. And a decent effort here from Silenced. Their highest placement ever. They'll have to try it all again in the future here once we get to the second open. GENG, Mobile One Racing.